Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us today on private labeling a phone app and what it will bring to your firm. I think you're just going to be blown away by this. I know I am. Now, today's meeting is just for people in the accounting business, tax business, bookkeepers. If you're in another business, you're on the wrong teleconference, and send me an email. I'll send you to the right one. So today what we're going to do is we're going to talk about how you can use this new technology that we see everybody touching all day long to build a business. Now, since we ran a lot of ads on Facebook to fill today's conference, and we've got over 100 people, so I can't take live conversation, but if you type in questions, I'll answer them immediately as we're going along. This is a live presentation, and I'm sitting here in the barn right this minute. That's where my wife makes me work because I smoke cigars, and so she makes me go out with the cows. And so my name is Casey Truby. Now, I know that I can see that some of you have done business with us in the past. A lot of you are brand new. You've never heard of me. I'm going to give you a real brief idea of what we've been doing for 45 years. I had my first company at age 16, and I bought an auto detail shop and dropped out of high school to do that, and it was very profitable. My second business, interestingly, was a bookkeeping firm where I was doing bookkeeping not only for my auto shop, but a couple of other businesses I knew that were doing terrible, and they needed help on how to run their finances. Over the last 45 years, I've owned 21 companies, most of them in and around in some way associated with the accounting industry. So I've had a lot of experience in real life at this. And for the past 30 years, starting back in 1985, we started teaching accountants, other accountants, how to market their firm, after the Supreme Court ruling back in '84, and how to use technology to accelerate their production. We invented a company called Paperless Overnight in 2004 and 5, in that time range, that helps accounting firms outsource their entire bookkeeping process to go to a client and outsource their process using the local accountant's staff. And in 2003, we were the largest QuickBooks trainer in the world. We had 400 licensed offices doing training all over the world. We ran that business from 97 to about 2005 when I sold it. So in that time, we've worked with about 18,000 firms. So the last couple of years, I've been kind of on the quiet because I've been buying broken businesses and then fixing them up and then reselling them. And it's not a big publicity business. It's something you're running in the background using all these years of experience. That's really worked out for us. But here's why we're on the phone today, because when I'm working on one of these companies last year, I had a technician, a computer geek working for me. And one day I said, is there any way we can do this? And it's one of these things where you're just looking at something and you say, how come we cannot totally eliminate the headache of the client dealing with capturing documents and putting them right into the software? And so that was the beginning of a private labeled phone app. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Something that you can give away to your clients for free that will have an amazing impact. Now, we're going to cover three things in the next few minutes. Why AutoKept is a type of app that clients and prospects will use every day. And then we're going to talk about how private labeling it will spread your name all across town and generate new clients for you. And then the third thing we'll do is I'll actually show you a live demonstration of setting up the private label. And we're going to do a live software. Everybody says don't ever do that because something will go wrong. It might go wrong, I don't know. But we're going to actually private label a telephone so that you can see how easily this can get done. Now, first things first, why would people want to use your phone app? And here's the bottom line. Everyone has got this problem of their wallet or purse full of paper, or the sun visor stuffed full of paper. Tax time comes, or the expense report comes, or something else. There's some other deadline that has to be done, and the poor business person, whether they're the owner, the salesman, or the field rep, they're up all night looking for documents, sorting through boxes of paper, and screaming because they lost that receipt or that piece of paper. And we're going to take that problem away in 10 seconds with your phone phone app. You'll be a hero if you take this problem out of your client's life, and you're going to be able to do it for free, and it's going to cost you a fraction of what you spend on things like silly ink pens. Here's how it works. This is exactly what AutoKept does. Let's imagine I go into the Starbucks with a client, and we're going to talk about some contract or some tax problem or whatever. The bill comes, I just grab my phone and I click AutoKept, the camera turns on automatically, and I take a picture of the bill. And then I start talking. And when I talk, my voice goes into text, and the text is analyzed. Now, that's the big secret. The secret is your voice converts to text, it uploads to the organizer, the voice is parsed out, and codes the spreadsheet that's online, and this is what your client sees. And then, of course, from your you would have a master control board where you can see all your clients, but there's no drop downs, there's no texting like you see in Expensify, or I know the Tax Association came up with one, but they're cumbersome. They're so cumbersome nobody uses it. This thing happens in under 10 seconds. It is the fastest, easiest way on the planet to capture documents. I mean, I've seen this neat receipt on television advertising, and now they're up to selling a $400 scanner and a $25 a month back end. You're going to give the back end to your clients for free. You're going to give them the application right on their phone for free in exchange for them looking at your name every time they use this. This is going to be so much easier and so much cleaner. Well, it already is. We have 150 accounting firms giving it away right now. This has just happened the last 3 months, and we're up to somewhere between 4,000 and 5,000 people actually taking pictures of receipts, cash events, etc. I mean, even when they do something like important documents come in the mail, 1099 or a K1, I can just lay it on the table, take a picture, it goes right into the organizer, right into my back end, where I've got the picture, the time and date stamp. It's coded the transaction. The coding is rudimentary today, but as the artificial intelligence gets better and better over the course of the year, then the coding gets better, and that's user driven. The more users go on in line and say that a 1099 is an income account, then the more accurate the back-end coding becomes. So it's good. It's going to be great. But the important point to your client is they're never going to miss another small business expense, or $5 to the porter, another medical expense, charitable contribution. Everything's going to be lined up, all the proof online all year long. Tax planning, expense reports, profit and loss statements, they're just a breeze now because they all got done in 10 seconds in real time, and they're all stored with the picture on this back-end database. It's on the Amazon backbone, so it's highly secure, and the client can see their documents. As the accountant, tax preparer, bookkeeper, you can see all your clients' documents, but the reason the clients love it is because it's a click and talk. It just blows them away. So this app gets used and shared. Now, that's what it does. Now, let's talk about why that's important to you. Now, we all know that for the last couple of years, we've had a lot of pressure on the billing, and a lot of not as many clients are coming in. I've been talking a lot about this with accountants, and nobody's really quite sure. I have a theory. I think that the reason that business might be down a little bit is because fewer people need to file tax returns today, and I think that's a lot of downward pressure, and there are fewer people going into business. So we've got to become a little bit more clever, or we're going to have a very weak looking future coming forward. I mean, the number of small businesses way down, the number of people filing returns way down in the total aggregate. So let's be more clever by using something like AutoKept, where I just take a picture, because everybody's got a phone, take a picture of an event and click upload after I talk for a few seconds. I mean, I've just taken away this pile of receipts in a matter of seconds. This is the fastest way in the world to get new clients by word of mouth. And that we're going to talk about both these things, how this is going to reduce your overhead burden and how it's going to grow your practice. I mean, the truth is that everybody we see, when you go to the mall, everyone has their phone in front of them. You drive down the street, not in California, but in other states, you drive down the street, every other person is on their phone. This has reached the tipping point. Google said last month that more than 51% of all activity on Google is now on mobile device. People got this in front of them all day. So we can use this to not only build word of mouth and brand marketing, but we're going to use this to get our current clients even to come back and spend more money with us. But the important thing is the app has got to be usable, or it's not going to go anywhere. You give it to your clients and they will not pass it out. So what's going to happen here is you're going to give it to the client for free, and they're going to use it, and then they're going to share it. Now, you can go out and do this on your own. I'm just going to let you know this if you're curious. What's it take to build a phone app? Because you hear a lot of people working on it. Well, I can tell you, you better plan on 75 to 125,000, and we've already passed that high-end number. This month, on May 1st, we went past the 125 to build out the AutoKept. That sucker those seem like they're simple things to do, but this is not that easy. But let's talk about sharing the cost, because if we built one app and then build a dynamic interface so that it was your name on your phone, your clients see your name, your clients' friends see your name. And you know, I keep bringing that up because one of the critical things about phone apps is that they're viral. If they're good and people like them, they keep sharing them. And your clients will share this because they're not going to have any more all-nighters looking for documents, and they're not going to lose deductions. And here's what's going to happen to you: no more extensions. I know that's hard to imagine. It's just impossible to imagine. But here's the reason why. On December 31st, two things are going to happen to your clients at 11:59 p.m. One, they're going to get a New Year's kiss from their sweetheart. The second one is every single tax or expense or business event has already been recorded, coded, and proofed with the picture and the time and date stamp in a database. I mean, all we got to do now is wait for the K-1s and 1099s and W-2s to come in, and I can do any work for this client, P&Ls or whatever, for the year, because every single event. That means no more extensions. Your firm just got a lot more profitable. This is gigantic, and clients use it. Once they've used it 3 times, they keep using it. And there's other things that they'll use it for. Expense reports are so easy. There's no more arguing because it's time and date and photo and voice proofed at the moment it happens, and then the tight-fisted controller back at the office isn't going to have anything to say about it. There's everything. And here's one I love. This is one that kind of happened by accident. Now, I'm a wheeler dealer, and I'm always out buying things and doing things. And I run a lot of expenses on my credit cards, and the bookkeeper would call me. The bookkeeper works for my wife, who owns an accounting firm. And she'd say, "What's this charge on American Express for from 3 months ago?" You know, I have no idea what she's talking about. So now all she does is goes to my database, types in the amount, it might be $43.50, and the transaction pops right up, because every time I buy something now, whether I buy it online, buy it at an auction, buy it in a store, every time I do anything, I simply take a picture of the receipt or the gas pump or whatever, or a picture of the computer screen when I'm buying something online, and then I talk for 10 seconds and upload, and now it's always there, so she never calls me. All the proof is in place, and all I had to do was click and talk. And I got to tell you something that is so amazingly simple. Now let's talk about how this is going to blow your marketing wide open, because there's 2 big parts to this. Number one, clients are going to use it because nothing as simple as click and talk, and they know they need to record these transactions. And we all know that a credit card slip in and of itself is not sufficient if an expense is ever questioned. So if we can give some contemporaneous footnotes to everything that we do in 10 seconds, then we're going to have more accurate, more dependable transactions. Okay, now, marketing. We all know the best way to get business is word of mouth. And I've heard that for 30 years from accountants. And then I said, well, if it works so well, how come you're not rich? And the reason is we don't know how to force word of mouth. We don't know how to get people to talk about us. I mean, people will talk about music. They will talk about their restaurant. Nobody talks about their accountant. We're going to change that when you see your clients, because all you have to do is seed this. You just give it to 5 clients, 50 clients, 100. You seed the market, and it's going to take off. You just show it to your clients, or send out an email, or send them to your website where there'll be a little video clip on how to use it. And here's what happens. Your clients will give this away, and here's how we know this. I went to lunch when I first invented AutoKept. And it's been in development for quite some time, almost a year. We came up with this idea, and it was just rudimentary. We were just bouncing out the wall to see what would happen last summer. So I'm at lunch, and I want to practice it. And I'm sitting there with another business owner. As a matter of fact, the actual lunch I had, there were 3 other guys at the table. The bill came, and I had to pay for it because all those guys were there at my request. So I took the bill, I took a picture, and then I started talking on the phone. I simply said, I'm here with Mike Johnson and Bill Smith and Rick Jacobson, and we're talking about the Infusionsoft project for linking my website. Then I hung up. Everybody at the table stopped talking, dropped their jaw, looked at me and said, what did you just do? I have got to have that. That is the coolest thing I've ever seen. 96 out of 100 people that I show this to say, I've got to have that. And how much does it cost? The answer is always free, because what we're doing is there's a share button on the front screen. Now, this is new technology also, because what will happen, remember, this is private labeled. It's going out under your name. And when somebody says, I've got to have that, and this is going to happen, your clients are going to be using it in front of other people. And if somebody says, I've got to have that, all they have to do is click share, and the app will move to your friend's phone. And so they've got to type in the phone number. In the future, we'll have this set up on just doing something called the bump, where the 2 phones just touch each other. But right now, they type in their friend, give me your phone number. My phone number is 760, and they just hit share, and it moves right over. But guess what? It's going over under your name. And now when that friend of your client starts uploading all their documents, you know whose umbrella they're under. You've got the spreadsheet. Now, you can't access that data until the client says it's okay, but you've got it, and you know who the client is. So you can email them in the 4th quarter and say, we've got all your data. Do you want us to go ahead and do work for you? Or you can do it at the end of the month, and because you might be doing monthly accounting for this client with this. The big thing is, Sue Schnitz in Ohio the other day was telling me that she's been giving it away to her nonprofit clients, the directors of nonprofits, because they're always under pressure from the board to prove all their expenses, and they can never find all the receipts, and this is just blowing wide open for her, because she's gone to all the nonprofits in Cincinnati, Ohio that she has as clients, and she is a really big firm, several million in billing, and surprisingly, most of that in bookkeeping. And so she has been giving it away, and they're going like, are you kidding me? This has solved all my problems. Her other big client base is football and basketball players who might go out and they do a little private room at the bar where they have table service, I guess it's called, and they can run up a $4,000 bill at one evening, and they were never good at keeping records on what they were doing. So now they all have this AutoKept with Sue's name on it, and they're quickly, easily tracking everything. Now, to make this work with your clients, we're not just going to mail it out. I'm going to give you 4 explanatory video clips that you will post on your website. If you don't know how to do that, you'll use them on my website under your name. Everything is under your name. To explain to clients, because you'll send them an email, say, go watch this, download the app. My name's going to be on it. You're going to love this. I'll also give you some personalized ad graphics for your website and other ad graphics that you can spread around anywhere you want. The big one that really works is pumping these into little ad graphics into your LinkedIn and Facebook page, because remember, all we have to do is plant seeds. Once your client has it, they'll share it with their friends. Their friends will share it with other people. This viral marketing share button is phenomenally powerful. And you hear this all the time, this went viral, this went viral. And none of us have ever had any idea on how to do this. I mean, I'm an old man, I'm 61 years old. What am I doing in a kid's business? Thank God I've got a room full of kids doing all this stuff. And I just come up and say, do you think this is possible? And 3 days later, these little guys, although they are costing me a fortune, they're popping this stuff out. And so this thing is getting shared. Now, you can use, instead of paying this kind of money, you can use AutoKept in your firm. And it will not only reduce your production cost, it'll stop extensions, and it's going to bring in new clients, because when that guy gets shared, you now have the data. Once you've captured the data, it's a real short jump to say, would you like me to start doing your work? I don't know what the work will entail. And sometimes we talk a lot about Texas, but there's a lot more. Once you get data, we don't know what that client's going to want, but you're going to have the client's data and their name, their phone number, their email address. It's a real short jump to send that guy an email and say, do you want us to do your work? You don't have to pay this guy $75. You can get this from us for a $295 setup. It's $588 a year after that to use AutoKept. However, as you would often expect, if you order today, you can start giving away AutoKept in about an hour, because I'm going to show you exactly how to set this up right now. We're going to go through a live order, but if you order today, I'll give this to you for a flat rate, $49 a month, no setup, no contracts. You can cancel at any time, and there's no limits to the number of people that you can give it away to. We have one accountant in Arizona, David Osa, who is giving it away to 1,600 clients, current clients. He expects each of those current clients to bring him 3 or more people over the next 12 months. And that could add as many as 4,000 names to his database. Now, some firms are going to be wondering why their income is going down. Osa is not going to have that worry. Things are going to happen for him because he's got so much impact. AutoKept app is a great free gift that your clients are going to love. And if you order it today, you can get it for $49 a month with no setup, no contracts, and no limits. Now, that's the end of my presentation. This is the most fascinating thing I've touched in 45 years of business. I have never seen anything like this, and we know that technology is sweeping the world, and where this will go in the future, we don't know how much we can do with that picture going forward, but we know that if we get this data, we're going to make an impact on these clients and on your firm. So order this today. I'm sending you an order form. You just got one in the email in the last few minutes that you can click. So let's talk about, now we're on to part 2. If you don't like AutoKept, there's no reason to watch the rest of this presentation. You can go ahead and drop off. If you like this idea, I'm going to, in a live presentation, show you how simple this is for you to set up. I mean, you don't need the $75,000 geek. Watch this. Now, I've just filled out a form in my own name, and I'm going to go ahead and click Place Order. The transaction was declined because an AVS mismatch. The address provided does not match the billing. Oh, look at that. I don't even know how to type in my own address. Hang on just one second. I'm going to find out why it's not changing my address. you know, they always say never do anything live. Isn't that interesting? I cannot get this sucker to change. Wonder what would happen if I just wipe out that whole line. Aha, it won't let me wipe out the whole line. All right, I'm going to start over. Well, I knew better than to do that. to do that. And so for some reason, I'm not getting it done. And isn't that funny? I wonder if I can just start over. You guys are patient. I see everybody has stayed on except one guy. So let's just try this again. Nope, it's going to hold it. All right, we're done. Isn't that funny? Okay, so I see a lot of people still on. We lost one guy that, who must not have liked this idea. The rest of you are getting an order form. And what's happening here is I've got a conflict going on because I have my video recording going on at the same time on the screen. And that's causing a conflict in my online order entry, which I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Doing live video recordings on top of using a website always creates some kind of a headache. So here's the form. You're getting it in a few minutes. What you're going to do when you get this form is you'll fill it out. I'm getting a message from my staff. Maybe they're going to tell me something I'm doing wrong. Nope. What you're going to do is you're going to get that form, and what you will do then is upload your picture and your firm logo. And you can use the picture you've got in LinkedIn or the picture that you have somewhere for your marketing or advertising stuff, and it'll resize it. It'll resize your logo, but you're actually, once you click order form, you'll get an email that says, go here and set this up. You'll actually be able to private label this on your own and start giving this app away within an hour. So you're going to get an order form. It's in your email right now. Fill that out. Try it for a month or two. Give it to 10 clients and see what they say. You're going to be blown away with this. And then start utilizing all of the collateral marketing material that I'll provide to you so that you can give it away to all of your clients, because once you do that, you've seeded the field, and this will grow like weeds as clients share this and move forward. And the next time we do a teleconference, I promise that I'm going to do everything on slideshows and not do it live so that it actually works. All right, everybody, I sure appreciate you being on this morning. Thank you so very much. Fill out the form, and you can actually start giving this away today. And if you don't like it, you can cancel it. There's no contracts. It's so simple. I'm so convinced you're going to love it that you're going to keep it, and we're going to get a ton of clients going forward. Okay, everyone. Thank you now for joining us. Bye.